Shine Runners Racing Radio Show is dedicated to the fans, drivers, promoters, and most importantly, the families of local auto racing. Our mission and commitment is to help build, promote, and support the local track. Shine Runners Racing Radio Show is dedicated to the fans, drivers, promoters, and most importantly, the families of local auto.
Shine Runners Racing Radio right here in the House, man. Season 2, Episode 5. And I'm going to tell you what, this March 7th, we're bringing the heat tonight. We've got a lot of awesome racing talk up in the house tonight. Hollywood, man, you looking good over there, bro?
Hey, man, I went and saw Brian Egan. He got me shaped up a little bit. I think Emmett did, too.
Yeah.
Or someone, but I know he got shaped up there. So, yeah.
Looking good over there, man. Tonight, we've got a great lineup coming up. All the way out of Concord, North Carolina, the Fuel Series late model driver, Matt Long, man, driving that Mellow Yellow. We're going to find out what the Fizz is in Concord, North Carolina. As well, we're going down to Mr. Sean Mott and talk a little bit of sprint car. They got the Carolina Sprint Car Tour going on. And, man, definitely looking forward to tonight's mail time. All the way out of Ohio, we've got a mail time coming to us. Casey Racing, man, Brian Casey, great guy, doing a lot for go-kart racing, and I'm excited to open his box, man. We're going to spin it around here this evening as well. We got Mom in the house. She is our chaplain. How you doing, Mom?
I'm good.
That's good, good. And on our pit crew, ladies and gentlemen, coming around, we've got Racing Ryan up in the house. What's going on, man?
That's all I got to say.
Where'd that come from?
I stole it.
I was going to say, you borrowed that or something?
Hey, we've already sent up, I think, and got an approval that we've won, right?
Well, that's kind of what I heard, so we'll talk a little bit more about that in the long run. And we got Magic Man up in the house. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on?
Not too much. And tonight, we got Jinx with us.
What's going on?
Jinx,
Sphinx.
Kyle Sphinx, Mr. Jinx.
Jinx, how y'all doing? Glad to be here.
Glad to have you in the house tonight,
Absolutely.
man. As tonight, TT is down in Gainesville. They're
That's
doing
right.
the Prelude to the Gators, I do believe, but she is working on the show tonight. As she says, she's going to be answering, the calls that are coming in and stuff like that. So huge thanks, and hope everything goes well for you guys down there in Gainesville as y'all are getting ready, preparing for the Gator Nationals that'll be coming up next weekend and. Good stuff.
TT, if you're out there, make sure you get some kind of flashcards or something for Robbie and go over those things on the way down there, green, yellow, and make sure he knows what red is. Yeah.
Definitely. And we've got some pretty hot topics tonight, man. We're going to be talking about all kinds of cool stuff. So definitely stick around, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be bringing back all kinds of cool information. Just want to throw something out before we go into our prayer and national anthem. We have a big fan, Mr. James Howard, and he has a GoFundMe page as well. Prayers out to Mr. Howard. As he is dealing with some stuff going on, and definitely keep him in your prayers. The Penny Bunts family, we've known Penny for a while. She's a good friend of our family's, and she passed away. So definitely keep your thoughts in with that family, and reaching out, praying for a speedy recovery to Mr. Brad Scruggs. Brad had a terrible accident down there at Patriot Speedway, and he broke his arm and stuff like that. But hopefully, there'll be a speedy recovery and all that. Do want to say, before we get started, the whole happy birthday deal. Terry Oxendine, man, happy birthday. Hope everything is exactly how you want it. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, what we got going on tomorrow?
We have a very, very, very important day.
Throw another very in there.
A very,
Very. Can we get a very from every?
Very.
Important birthday for Miss Panda, Mrs. Hollywood. I want to say happy birthday to you, sweetheart. I love you. Thank you for everything you do. And thank you for my two beautiful little racers, Axel and Blaze, man. She's the one that keeps the she's the glue, so to speak, in the Bellinger household.
Definitely, definitely. Well, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, if you would with us, remove your hats, and we're going to turn it over to our chaplain here at Shine Runners Racing Radio to do our prayer.
Heavenly Father, we just come before you with such grace and love for you and for everything that you've done for us. Father, we just ask that all these prayers that have been spoken, Lord, that you just be with each and every one of them. You know the needs better than we do. Father, I just especially ask for prayers for AJ and for Mr. Bunce, for James and for Tara in regards to Penny. Lord, I just ask you to wrap your hands around them and guide them and give them strength, give them understanding, and all of our friends. Father, for the request of healing, we just know that you are our healers, and it's by your stripes that we're healed. Father, we come to you with such humbleness in our hearts. Lord, I just love you, and I just give you praise and glory for everything that you do for us. Father, I ask you to be with those that are not here for whatever reason, be it to healing or just can't be here tonight. Father, I just ask you to continue to guide us and to bond us with your love. Father, be with us and see us safe on the way home. Father, these things we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you would please stand as we do our national anthem. Gentlemen, start your engines. All right, man, it's almost racing season. I know. Are you guys pumped up as much as I am? I'm telling you what.
Idea.
Hell yeah. He's so excited he dropped the lemonade again.
We were actually, AJ was back doing some editing earlier, and I heard what had to be Willie Milliken coming around the turn there at Fayetteville. And, I mean, because he's got that distinctive, walk, you know what I'm saying?
Getting in it hard.
Oh, my gracious. I'm telling you what, guys. It's going to be a great night tonight as we're actually going to be talking a little late model coming up a little bit later with our friend Matt Long. But after a commercial here tonight, we're going to go down and talk to Mr. Sean Mott, man. Talk a little bit about some sprint cars.
It's going to be exciting. And don't forget, at the end of the show, as always, we're going to do our call-in.
Yep.
And some of the things that me and Jim were talking about, Magic Mike, a little bit over the week, and obviously you addressed yourself, was obviously in NASCAR, the bubble situation with the back window of the 4-car of Kevin Harvick.
The Audi.
Yeah. And then also there's been some talk going around this week about Facebook Live at racetracks. So, you know, those are some topics. If you got another topic that you want to talk to us about or you want to call in about, make sure to call us in at the end of the show. If you're for, you know, sliding through tech and it just happens, you know, or if you're not, or what the repercussions should be. If you're for Facebook Live at racetracks, if you're not, call in at the end of the show and let us know. We want to hear from you. You know, it's an outlet for you to kind of express, you know, what you're feeling about the racing community and the guidelines and rules and whatnot. So.
Yeah, no doubt, man. We're definitely looking forward to covering tonight as we got a lot of cool action we're going to be covering in karting, NASCAR, mud racing, drag racing, sprint cars, late models. It's all right here at Shine Runners Racing Radio, ladies and gentlemen, and we're fixing to go into commercial. So stick around. When we get ready to come back, we're going to go down with Sean Mott, the Carolina Sprint Tour.
We'll be back after these commercials.
I'm Bill W. with Rockfish Speedway.
Charlie Council, race director, Fayetteville Motor Speedway.
I'm Thomas, driver in 50 Mile Life.
Hi, I'm Bill McCullough, driver of the number 7 Austin Sprint. This is my son, Brody Callahan.
driver of the Junior Dragster Blackhawks Paintball, and we're watching Shine Runners Racing Radio.
Shine Runners Racing Radio.
Shine Runners Racing Radio. Hey, I'm Ashton Jackson, and you're watching Shine Runners Racing Radio.
It's your job to put it in the winner circle, but it's ours to make your ride stand out above the rest. With full-colored wraps or die-cut designs, Bellinger Signs and Graphics is sure to put you in the eyes of the fans. That's not all. We do custom yard signs, storefront, and your everyday decal. Come see us today at Bellinger Signs and Graphics, 3392 Dunn Road, Eastover, North Carolina. Look at those parts to put you in the winner circle? Let Redline Speed Shop be your one stop for all performance needs. From straight strip to left turns, they have it all. Tires, fuel, and safety equipment, and that's just the beginning. Come by today, 404 Hope Mills Road, and get your win on with Redline Speed Shop. Back in the steel, ladies and gentlemen, here, Shine Runners Racing Radio, man. And I'm telling you what, I'm still pumped. We went down to Millbridge and watched them outlaw sprints down there, outlaw carts, and I'm still pumped with that. So I know they got some cool stuff coming up with this Carolina Sprint Tour, man.
Yeah, man. Anytime the sprint cars come around to Fayetteville, or I think they were at Dublin last year.
Yeah.
It's something that we don't get to see on a regular basis. Out at our local track. I know Jim, he's big into the sprint cars and stuff, and seeing them at the World of Outlaws, at the World Finals, you don't realize how fast those sprint cars are going. I mean, it takes balls of steel.
Yeah, man.
So.
And we've talked to Chelsea Blevins, we've talked to a couple different drivers, and I love it, man. It's action packed with these sprint deals. So,
I mean, it's the fastest car on the track, I tell you. I mean, power to weight ratio, you can't beat it.
No, it's they only weigh like what?
Nothing.
Yeah, it's like 1,250.
They're nothing.
I think the biggest weight in that car is actually the motor,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure it's all aluminum to
for
begin
sure.
with.
Yeah.
I posted a video on there of Dave Blaney down in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Flat out, just all the way around them corners.
What you say we go ahead and give our buddy Sean Mott a call with Carolina Sprint Tour? And if you have a question tonight while we're trying to get in contact with Mr. Sean, if you have a question for Carolina Sprint Tour, please do tag it in. We got our main man Jinx in the house. He's going to be asking the questions tonight, so
Oh, yeah.
let us know.
Hello.
Sean, how you doing, man? This is Rooster with Shine Runners Racing Radio.
Hey, buddy. How we doing?
Great, man. Great. You know what? I'm telling you what. I am fired up to talk to you tonight. Ever since I went down and got a chance to be beside these sprint cars, I'm definitely tuned in to what's going on in the sprint world. But definitely, man, fill us in on some of your stuff you got coming up for 2018.
Well, basically, the Carolinas, definitely not the hotbed of sprint car racing, but it's something that the drivers and teams around here are trying to, bring back into this area. It's been tried a couple years. This is actually the 7th year for the Carolina Sprint Tour. As most of you know, I heard you guys talking about the World of Outlaws type of stuff and everything. You got your 410 sprint cars, your 360 sprint cars, which are typical of USCS and things like that. Then you got the 305 sprint car series, definitely more affordable series. Getting cars to the track, putting good car counts up is what we're after, and get guys back behind the wheel. A lot of guys, of course, as you guys well have known, drives many people out of the sport. We're hoping to bring that back. The 305 engine is basically, it's a sealed engine, which is race saver legal through many regions throughout the country, Pennsylvania, Texas. They've got them out in California now, in the Carolinas. Indiana, which is normally a non-wing area, has the race saver deal put together. And those engines generally are going to put out, they started around 450. The guys just started to push the 500 horsepower limit. And weight-wise with us, we are, I think, somewhere around 1,500 pounds. With driver and everything, your World of Outlaw stuff. Them guys are about 13, 1350, somewhere in that range. But we got a pretty good schedule. The drivers kind of took everything back over and says, we want our series to head in a great direction. I think we're sitting on 13, 14 dates. We're going to get out y'all's way, out to Fayetteville this summer. But we got April 28th. We're kind of kicking the year off at Sumter Speedway. We got some good sponsors on board. Put together a couple of good shows, getting out promoting the sprint cars throughout this area, and everybody's pretty jazzed up about it. We've got probably the best off-season for sprint cars in the Carolinas, and I'm sure most everybody would agree that we're on good pace to do good things.
That's good stuff, man. And speaking of that car being that light with that much horsepower, I'm sure these things are geared to ride.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a couple years ago myself, I'm just a driver myself, but, I help with some of the booking of the shows. Mike Sellers takes care of a lot of our contingency sponsors, putting that together. But, I come from the 360 stuff a couple years ago, and, them things will set you back in your seat. A couple less horsepower here, but, we've got these 360 or these 305 sprint cars running lap times within a second of your super late models. So, they're still getting it, the power to weight ratio is definitely what sets these cars apart, and they're a handful for sure, especially with, the stagger, and, you've got all that. When you let off the gas, the car turns on you, and you got to be pretty steady on it for the most part.
Go ahead, AJ.
Well, I was going to, getting back to what you were talking about with the motors, I guess the big thing about this series is when you say race saver, it's a cost saver for the guys. You don't really have to worry about getting out there and being outran by, a bank account.
Well, that's it. And I think that's what happens with many, many different series throughout the country. They start out with, 20, 25 cars, and you blow up an engine or two, or some guy needs a rebuild because, his engine was only built to run 10 or 15 nights. Halfway through the year, he can't afford to put it back together. These engines are built to pretty much run, anywhere 30 to 60 nights, I guess, depending on how wild they are. But the cams, they're basically cammed just right. The valve springs are set to where the guys aren't running wild lifts on these cams, and the compression rules are right there. So, the motors last longer. So when you put that investment to it, we're going to be able to keep more cars on the track and keep the excitement there, because, more cars, you run into lap traffic and stuff like that. It definitely gets a lot more exciting as the night goes on. But keeping cars at the track is definitely what we're trying to do, and bring back the fun aspect of it, too. I think a lot of people get away from that at the end of the day, most of us are just family members and trying to get out and have a good time. None of us are pretty much full-time drivers, but when you get on the racetrack, none of that takes place. We're just as competitive as the guys in the World of Outlaws.
Right. And with that, I know I heard you say that it was sealed. Where is there one particular guy that can seal the motor, or how exactly does that work for some of our listeners that are out there?
Well, what it comes down to, and you can look us up on Facebook. We have some stuff on Twitter and Instagram. We do the whole social media deal. But look us up there. Mike Laris is basically the guy through the Carolinas, and he's in Kernersville, North Carolina. You can look him up there as well. There's basically a hard sheet that goes with it, and we have what's called a hard card. Each engine has a hard card that goes with it. That way, if you sell it to anyone else in the country, that set of heads is basically tagged to that engine, and you don't have to worry about having your engine resealed. It's already documented through a hardline master file per se. And IMCA has come on board and handles our sanctioning, so we have a great insurance policy, contingency programs with them as well, that they've gone out and done all the legwork for us. But Mike Laris is our guy in our region who handles it. But you got guys in each region has their own designated guy to do it. And it's a pretty thorough process to get these things sealed. But, we all worry about cheating and this and that or whatever. But if we know we're all on the same level playing field,
right,
we feel better about everything at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think I saw somewhere it's like a 2.5 hour process just to go through and tech that. Is that did I read that right?
Yeah, pretty much. They're going to go in at the beginning. Mike's been weighing some cranks and making sure the rods are there at 5.7, which is a stock rod. But you got to go through there and just make sure everything's where it needs to be. And after you get everything set up, sealed up there, just make sure that compression is where it needs to be as well. So they'll check your seat pressures on your springs as well. So it's a tedious process, but once we get them all done, the good thing is once you seal them up, as long as you got yourself a good engine builder and you're not blowing things up, them things are going to last you well, and you're not having them sealed up, tearing them apart every 20 nights. Like in my 360, I was having to do that. That was a 25 night engine for $16,000, and I had a bare budget with it. Guys can put these things together anywhere between $5,000 to $8,000. You can have a pretty solid engine. Right. Guys will spend more money than that. You got some guys that will do that because they want to have all the bells and whistles and think it's going to make a difference, but it's not going to make a difference. You can spend all you want in this thing, but with our spec tire and everything, it brings the racing back to the nut behind the wheel per se.
Right.
Yeah. The TG Hale said, "How many sealed engines do you have?"
Or are you allowed more than one?
Well, right now I would defer that to Mike Laris. As long as you have a hard-carded engine, I don't think there would be an issue with having a second engine. But they've set a couple appointments with our tech team right now, and they've had a couple dates where they've had guys go in there and bring their stuff up there and get everything lined up. So we're still in the off season. Things are still getting done. My engine, which is sitting in New York right now, is that's already got a hard card that comes with it. So when I go pick that up, that transfers right with it. So I don't even need to have a engine torn down and resealed because it's already been sealed. But for the most part, we've got guys that they've got all their stuff getting worked on right now and getting sealed up. So it's still an ongoing process, but we're still about a month and a half away from getting some good racing going on.
You and everybody.
Great. So I see here where, Mr. Ben McCall is actually going to be running with you guys this year. What's the process of joining the Carolina Sprint Tour, or do you have to, is there a way, do you have to win a lottery ticket to get in, or can anybody come race with you guys?
Anybody can do this. It's just a matter of, first and foremost, getting with IMCA and becoming a registered IMCA member. They have a good insurance policy that goes with it. My dad had actually got hurt a couple years ago, and the track insurance only goes so far.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a thing that you kind of got to watch for and make sure you have the coverage there. But once you get registered, as long as you have a sealed engine and you're a registered IMCA member, and you tell us you want to run with us, come on board. Ben, he's our rookie. He actually put the whooping on us at the banquet, but he doesn't weigh more than he's a featherweight, so that boy's gonna have to put some weight in the car just to meet weight. But he put the whipping on us at the banquet we had at K1 Speed in Concord. But we all had fun in the end.
I know a couple people that got whooped at K1. Speaking of racing Ryan,
yeah, and I think he's actually older than Ryan's older than him. So I don't know what Ryan's excuse was, but anyway.
So you're Ryan, your myth just got debunked about them putting your go-kart down because you're underage. So there you go. Will you sign his autograph right quick? Hey man, we seen on that you guys have got the contingency sponsor catalogs that are rolling in by the dozens. Is that something that you guys are open to, if the whole contingency sponsor deal?
Absolutely. I know Mike Sellers had spent some time out at the Chili Bowl, matter of fact, and he did some work and got some guys coming on board. And, the catalog stuff is just some things that we, in exchange for them offering us discounts on products, free products at the banquet, end of the year type thing, we promote their product in the end. Brad Lloyd, BP Fabs come on and brought their stuff on board with us. DMI, Diversified Machine, which they do a lot of stuff in Central Pennsylvania. Central Pennsylvania, Superior Steering Wheels. They made an awesome steering wheel for us at our season-ending race last year.
Mm-hmm.
We gave it away to Jeff Geiges, who came down from New Jersey. We get guys who come from out of region that come out and race with us, and he won the feature, and he had a custom steering wheel made by Superior, and Winners Performance, J&J Auto Racing, and Wings Unlimited's coming back with us, and then we got guys like Johnny Petrozelli, who's one of our multi-time feature winners. He's actually kicking in several tires to the series this year. Piedmont Triad Communications is giving away a loyalty bonus.
Nice.
And then we've got our race at the end of the year at Fayetteville, where B4 Builders, Bronzy Lawson, right there in Southern Pines, is step up to the plate to give a bonus to the feature winner there. So
nice stuff.
Everybody gets in, and it's a family at the end of the day. We're a family, close-knit group, and we try to do everything to help the sport grow. So, but yeah, we're definitely always looking to bring new people on, and if you enjoy sprint car racing and having fun and not having that constant dollar bill being rolled out of your pocket, look us up, and we definitely look forward to bringing new members on board.
Okay, Dan.
Awesome, man. And tell everybody where they can get in contact with you guys. I know you said you guys do a lot of social media and stuff, but do you guys have a website and everything as well?
We don't. We're currently I got everything registered with the state right now, so we're waiting on the legality stuff, because Mr. IRS, they want to know their piece too.
Yeah.
So, so we've got to wait on getting some of them things done. We've done everything pretty much through Facebook and built everything up with the track promoters, and we've had amazing response due to it. So you can kind of look us up on Facebook and message us there, either myself, Kevin McElveen, Mike Sellers. They'll get back to you. And if anybody has any questions, Mike Laris, send him a friend request. He's a good guy, pretty savvy with the technical part of it. He's a former Dave Blaney crew member, so he spent a little time on the road learning some stuff, and he knows the sprint cars in and out. So for the tech side, I would just get a hold of Mike. If you got any tech questions, Mike Laris, or shoot us a message, and we'll point you in the right direction for everything.
Right. Well, buddy, we greatly thank you so much for giving us a little bit of time and, coming on with us and talking about the Carolina Sprint Tour, and looking forward to a wonderful 2018 with you guys. And just wanted to tell you that your wife knows you best. She said, this is Sean's wife, and he'll talk forever if you let him.
We might have to cut you off.
You're probably right. I'm a sales guy, so it's what I do. So I do that for a living. Hey, I just want to thank you guys for having us on board and doing this show. I think what you guys are doing is great. Anytime we get a chance to get motorsports some more exposure and put some more butts in the seats, it's always a good thing. So I appreciate what you guys are doing as well.
Yeah, thank you, man. And make sure you get up with us, myself or Rooster or someone, and make sure we get those results in for your races.
Absolutely.
and all that.
Love
so we
to
can
talk about them.
Yeah, that way we can get them out on the show and let people know what's going on in the series.
Help keep promotions going for the
Absolutely.
series.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much, man. We look forward to seeing you when you get down this way.
All right, guys. Y'all take care. Have a great evening.
You
Take
too.
care, buddy.
Thanks,
So awesome, and then that's great, man. And then the K1 kicks back up. The K1 talk kicks back up. And
That
have
deal
you
right
got
there.
something you'd
Yeah,
like to present to Racing Salty Ryan?
Yeah, I'd like to present this right here. It says, to my favorite second, love you, mean it, Hollywood. There you go, man.
That's with love, dude. That's with love.
I wanted you to have a trophy, not a second place trophy. It even says first place on it.
See, I didn't get presented the front side. I got presented the back. So,
Because you
He said
see the
that's
back
just-
second.
He told me earlier that was the side you're used to seeing, the back side.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. I just repeated what I heard.
Getting my feelings hurt or something.
So I'm leaving.
Give me something to talk about.
Take my ball going home.
I'll throw it down now. Y'all give me a topic. I'll throw it down.
Forget y'all couch.
So, man, those, what's crazy about the whole sprint car deal, even with the 305 engine in it, it's still enough to push these things, outrageously.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to see wheel standing. You're going to see, turn shredding, So you folks out there that if you've never been to a sprint car race, and honestly, I'd only been to about 4 in my whole life. But, man, ever since I went to Millbridge, I am 100% hooked on this sprint.
Yeah,
deal.
man. The first time I think I saw him, was at World Finals. Well, not actually, that wasn't the first time. It was at Fayetteville Motor Speedway when the tour came, and I was just amazed, man, because you don't really realize how big they are until you stand beside one.
That wing
and the
is
wing
just
is
unreal.
Seems like it's about 12 foot in the air, you know, and the right rear tires are just humongous. So make sure y'all go check them out, man. They're going to be around our area, and we definitely like to support them because we need to keep racing going.
And if you see Sean or one of the guys, tell them that you've seen this right here on Shine Runners Racing Radio. That way, you know, it lets them know too that we're getting the word out for them. And you made the comment to Sean about getting us his race results.
Yep.
That goes for any track out there.
Or
this year,
or
whatever. We want to talk about you. But in the famous words of Thomas Pope, if we don't know nothing about it, we can't talk about it. So we can get, what is the email here?
It's shinerunnersradio@yahoo.com. And I mean, there's no way that we can physically find the results for every single series and racetrack in the United States or in, you know, just in the region. I mean, we'd be here all night and you'd get bored and probably click off.
Well, I want to send out a big shout out to John Frew out of Pennsylvania. John has hooked us up with a lot of people and a lot of you know, lists for people racing. So, John, I apologize I didn't get a chance to answer your phone call the other day, man. I have been wide open, but you know, thank you for all that you do in motorsports as well. And dude, I tell you what, about time we take a commercial.
Right.
When we come back, we'll go on with our with Mr. Matt Long.
That's right.
And I'll talk to him, see what the fizz is in 2018.
That's right. And also, be sure to be getting your questions ready for later on in the show. You know, at the bottom of the hour, you know, or excuse me, when we're finishing out the hour, we're going to go through and take any concerns you have or anything, any rumors. It doesn't matter what you want. Just call us and talk to us. So be getting that in your head.
Scott Allen cooked some mac and cheese for me.
That's right. Take us to a commercial, Magic Mike.
Mac and cheese. I love mac and cheese, Bob.
Matt Long, and I'm watching Shine Runners Racing Radio. Say that 5 times fast.
It's your job to put it in the winner's circle, but it's ours to make your ride stand out above the rest. With full-color wraps or die-cut designs, Bellinger Signs and Graphics is sure to put you in the eyes of the fans. That's not all. We do custom yard signs, storefront, and your everyday decal. Come see us today at Bellinger Signs and Graphics, 3392 Dunn Road, Eastover, North Carolina.
A1, your only stop for landscaping and lot clearing in the Fayetteville and surrounding areas. Specializing in commercial and residential, A1's skilled technicians are ready to meet your needs. Experienced in erosion control, landscaping, irrigation, sod, grading, demolition, and lot clearing. A1 is willing and capable of all jobs, big or small. Call A1 today at 910-858-0003 or email a1lotclearing@aol.com. A1 Landscaping and Lot Clearing. We take the work out of yard work.
Have those racetrack hot dogs ever made a second appearance? Have you scampering around like the last lap dash of the Daytona 500? Well, worry no more. With A1 portable toilets on your backside, you will have the best seat in the house. A1 portable toilets are a premier choice for all types of portable toilet needs. Construction sites, racetracks, events, big and small, A1 can handle them all. Contact them today at 910-484-5219 or A1 portable toilets at AOL.com.
Man, I can't help but giggle whenever we just seen Mr. Matt Long there doing that promo shoot. We were actually out at Fayetteville Motor Speedway, and we went from car to car asking people, you know, if you could say, hey, I'm the driver of so-and-so, and you're watching Shine Runners Racing Radio. And I don't think anybody got it right. No. It was hilarious. It was like, you're watching Shine Network, Shine
We were all kind of things. We were the Shine Runners Network, the Shine Runners. I mean, it was ridiculous.
It's great, man. But, you know, if you have got a second, take a video of yourself.
A second.
Take a video of yourself. Hey, I'm the driver of so-and-so, and you're watching Shine Runners Racing Radio, and we'd love to actually put you on the screen. So just send it in to us. You can messenger that, and we can get it taken care of.
Absolutely.
But, we are actually going to call Mr. Melliella himself, Mr. Matt Long, and talk about the lowdown in the Fuel Series this year.
Let's see if we can get him on the phone.
We're going to Conway, or Concord, North Carolina, y'all.
Hello.
What's going on, buddy?
How we doing?
I can't complain a bit. Can't complain at all. We're calling you to find out what's the fizz in 2018.
What's the fizz in 2018? Is that what you said?
What's the fizz is? Mr. Melliella himself, right?
That's right. That's right. I like that. No, we're actually getting ready right now. We're hoping to go race this weekend. We're putting the wrap on right now and headed to Modoc, hopefully. And that's where we'll kick things off this year.
That's awesome, man. And one more thing else I got to find out. Where did the Hillbilly Deluxe come from?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure. When I've been here 15 years in the Carolinas. I moved here from Ohio, and we started racing, 4 or 5 years after I was here, and I'm not 100% sure. I think somebody just come up and said it, and, it just kind of stuck ever since.
Right.
But, and I've learned racing in the South, you have to have some type of nickname. I mean, there's Timbos and Rambos and, Ron the Bull, and there's all these different Wild Child, and, you got to have a nickname, or, I don't think you're allowed to race.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a prerequisite before you even get in the car.
That and having an aunt and uncle that's not even a part of your family.
Yeah.
That's
true.
That's a
exactly.
must here in the South. But, man, want to congratulate you. We see that you've got a new little baby there that's come in. I'm sure you're raising them up around racing.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so he's just he was born in December, right before Christmas, so it was a great Christmas, and it's been going from one kid to two kids is definitely a game changer. You got to start playing zone offense. It's crazy, or zone defense, I guess you call it. And it's been a wild off season for us in terms of that, and my travel with work. And he's a big boy, really tall, and he's doing really good.
How long you think it's going to be before he starts getting that racing itch?
Probably immediately, probably.
That's in the blood. Tell him it's in the blood.
That's right. So it's definitely in the blood, in the family blood, but Madison, the daughter, she loves the racing too, and so it's been a lot of fun to add that to the mix of everything.
I can imagine, man. I've actually got one on the way. She's ready to pop at any given moment, so I'm excited too as well, man. I see here you've been driving for 10 years. Did you start out on go-karts, or did you start out?
No, we kind of started out. So when I lived in Ohio, where I'm from in Ohio, southeastern Ohio, my family's raced since before I was born, back to the 1950s. And my dad's side of the family, and then I grew up. He raced for different people and raced late models and raced at Pennsylvania Motor Speedway and Lernerville and Sharon and Midway and Muskingum County, Wayne County, all over the Ohio Valley, Tyler County. Mm-hmm. And so I grew up like that, going to the races all the time. And when I got old enough, I helped out in the shop and, did all that, and then went to school and got the sponsorship bug and come back. And that's how I got started in selling sponsorships. I started with my dad's team, and that actually got me into grad school. And
that's awesome.
In grad school, it kind of took it a step further. So during those times, we really didn't have the money for me to go out there and monkey around. We raced on, a lot of the sponsorship and what we won. And so I never really raced, and we got down here, and you kind of quit that lifestyle pretty quick, and I got pretty bored pretty fast, and spent way too much time at the bars than on the weekends. And so crates were, had been out a couple years, and if it hadn't been for crates, I'd have never got into racing, because I can work on a late model, but I can't work on a street stock. So the crate late model thing fit, and we've been doing it ever since, and mixing in a little bit of limited racing, and it's been very fortunate.
Well, speaking of crate racing, do you think that as far as where it started and where it's at today, do you think it's going to continue to grow and maybe catch up and maybe even take out possibly the regular limited late models? I know there's a few mixed in here and there, but what are your thoughts on that?
No, I think it has its place. Over by you guys, Fayetteville and County Line, they got more of the limited mix with them and more of the limited cars. But those 525 motors run really good with those guys. I finished, I've finished second at Fayetteville too many times and been third and, behind Dustin and Willie and been right there with the little old 525. So I think the crate racing definitely has its place. I don't think you're always going to have super late models that travel. You're going to have some type of limiteds because people still want to build their own motors and do their own things. But I think, honestly, if it hadn't been for the 604 crate in the Southeast, I think we would be it'd be in a world of hurt right now. But, there's that constant evolution of it, going back and forth. And, now, there's a lot of rules on suspension and different things to keep the cost down. I'm sure if everybody had a magic ball and could do crate racing over again, they would have started a little bit different and maybe smaller tires and done some things. But overall, for the price of the motor, whether it's a 604 or 525, I don't know how anybody can complain too much.
Right. And, speaking of cost, I saw was combing over your webpage a little bit, and it said if you could change one thing in racing, what would you change? And I saw that you said the tire cost, and I got to completely agree with you on that, man. I mean,
100%.
It's ridiculous, what it costs just to run. So you got to have a lot of tires just to run throughout the season, man. What can you expand on that a little bit as far as, you said do away with the team tire deals?
Do away with the what? I'm sorry?
The team tire deals?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my friends at Hoosiers have been great to me, and we're good friends. Just, I think it's time for, if we to look beyond is the price of the tires has got to maintain and quit going up. And so some of that means that a lot of this point money that's tied to tires and, a lot of the traveling teams that, and rightfully so, they're buying a lot of tires a year. There's going to be some type of discount. But, a lot of the, even in crate racing, most of the point fund that I run for, I know is generated by the tire sales, but I'd be willing to forego some point fund money, put that money back into making the cost of the tire a little bit cheaper and help everybody because, we're quickly approaching $200 a tire. And, if we can solve that, then, and everybody still make money, then, I think it would be, I think that's the next thing. Everybody, hollers about the cost of shocks and things like that. And nobody ever says anything about, tires and motors.
Yeah, I think that would be the one thing you could probably wrangle in a lot easier than the shocks for sure.
Yep. I see here, man, a lot of times.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to ask another question, so go ahead and finish what you were talking about. I was quick on the gun.
Oh, no, I lost it. I lost the train of thought. You're good.
I'm sorry. Most people talk about their most memorable moment in racing, and I see here about the most forgettable racing moment. Tell us a little bit about that. You don't hear that much.
No, I tell everybody, I've been blessed. My life, I've, got to do what I wanted to do and got a good job and was blessed in my job and come out of grad school swinging and everything seemed to be going my way. And I tell everybody that the racing is the most humbling sport I've ever been a part of. Everything can be going great, and then just one thing that's completely out of control, whether it's a wreck or whatever it may be, can just take you out. Or, there's just lucks involved in so many ways. And back when Fast Track ran 3 races for part of their world championship, we were in the last race, I think it was, and we were running in the top 10, and we were second in points at that time, and riding around under caution, warming the tires up, I broke the yoke on the transmission, and that cost $10,000 right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it could have been more, but that cost $10,000 right there, and that was a pretty dejecting moment. So,
anytime it hits you in the wallet, it's pretty memorable. I use one of Rooster's words.
No, and I will. I'd have to update that though, because last year we were at the World Short Track Championships and we checked out in that deal at the Charlotte Dirt Track, and we were a full straightaway ahead of Davenport and all those guys, and then the motor blew with 10 laps to go. So I'd rank probably the worst one yet, honestly.
Okay,
wow. Yeah, I can imagine that one was.
Rains it pours.
I seen here,
That's right.
and I was questioning myself the 75-55 of the numbers on your car. So you're 55,
Yep.
and then in the bottom right-hand corner it's 75. So you've got definitely meaning to that.
Yeah, so what had happened the last couple of years is I drove my crate car, and then I drove a car for Wesley Page that was in the Limiteds and Fuel Series, where we ran the 525 motors. And that was actually his program, and I brought some sponsorship money to it, and then I just showed up and raced that car. And his number was 75, so to make things look uniform, we kind of did that look where you see on his car 75, the 55's in the corner, and then I did the same.
Oh, cool, man.
Good. But tell people where they can maybe get in touch if they are interested in sponsoring you. Are you on, Facebook? Obviously, you've got mattlongracing.com. But what's the best way to get in touch with you?
The best way is over, probably Facebook. The website would take you, but Facebook or Twitter. We have a pretty good following on Facebook, a really good following on Facebook. It's just Matt Long Racing, and then Matt Long Racing on Twitter. We have Instagram, but I'm terrible at Instagram, so I wouldn't say there. It's a full-time job to keep up with all these social media outlets, and but that's usually the easiest way is through one of those social media channels.
I do want to let you know that you have something definitely in common with Jerry Johnson, the driver of the number 98 Super Street. I see here that you don't like peanuts in your pits.
No.
Yeah, Jerry's got a very strong deal with peanuts around his garage, too.
No, there's no peanuts allowed anywhere. So,
I guess it would be safe to say that the wrap you guys are putting on tonight doesn't involve any green either.
No, there might be a little bit of sponsor in their logo, but there's no green otherwise. There's no green zip ties. There's no green tape. None of that stuff is green. Last night we were in the trailer and somebody put a new tote in there to put parts in there, and it was green, and I made them take it out. So,
for the record, for the record, I unhooked the whole trailer one night. I took my go-kart out of the trailer, unhooked the trailer, and left it at the racetrack. Literally, left it there because I thought the trailer was why we were finishing second.
Yeah. Hey.
Superstition.
Listen, when something bad happens, I can always find somebody that's in the crew wearing green and point to that. Or,
That's what I'm thinking this weekend. I was so thankful that we didn't have that trailer with us because all the stuff that went down this weekend. But anyway, it's crazy how superstitions arrive,
Yeah.
Well,
no, definitely.
Brother, we greatly appreciate you coming up. Did you have another question?
No, I was actually going to
do
exactly what you did.
Man, like I say, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us here tonight and promote your 2018 season. Where are you going to be heading to this coming weekend?
So this weekend, we're planning on going to the Modoc 100 down at Modoc Speedway. They're outside of Augusta. That's the plan. We're a little bit behind on the car, but that's just work related. And if we get done, we're going. If we don't, we don't. We're not going to push it. The racing season is a long season here in the South.
Yeah.
So that's our initial goal. Then in 2 weeks, we'll be hopefully at Cherokee for that big one, and then we'll go from there.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks again so much, man, and hope you nothing but the best of luck in 2018, and we'll see you when you roll into Fayetteville.
All right, good deal. Look forward to seeing you guys, and thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, Matt Long.
All right, bud.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Matt Long, Mr. Mella Yella himself. You'll see him out in that number.
That's right.
75 or 5575.
75-55.
That
and
one.
you know what's always cool is, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's always got like a cooler right out by his trailer. You can walk up, get you a free Mella Yella.
What?
That's really
I like
cool.
Mella Yella, man.
It's awesome.
And
man.
so here's the thing. Whenever we have the big race coming up, we can go get Mella Yella from Matt, and we can go get mac and cheese from a main man, Scott Allen, and we'll have a whole,
that's a meal right
We'll have a
there.
redneck picnic right
like
there.
if we can just get somebody to do hot dogs,
That's
dude, we
tailgating
have
at its
got
finest.
it at its finest, yes.
I was just talking to Scott on there. He's trying to get his own line of mac and cheese.
Yep,
No
he
way.
was right here.
Exactly. We were just talking about it.
Well,
the real American mac and cheese.
We're going to call it Scott
That's
cheese.
a good one right there.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got your wrapper.
It's made with American cheese.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Well, you know what? We're going to go ahead and flow into mail time. Like I say, mail time, ladies and gentlemen, what that is if you own a company or you own a product, even a racetrack, put a flyer in the mail or put a box in the mail of your products. Send it on down here to 3392 Dunn Road in care of Shine Runners Racing Radio, and we will open the box for you. And tonight, coming all the way, wow, that was loud. I was getting a little happy about
I think
that.
you got into that box already by the way you're hitting stuff.
I don't know. This is Backstreet Shine. Backstretch Shine. I was thinking Backstreet Boys.
What are you doing here now? No Backstreet Boys. We raised
Backstreet.
He has a cassette tape.
Yeah. So coming out of, I'm going to spell this because I cannot say it. Coshockton. Scotland?
I have to look at
Read that. Out of Ohio, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, coming all the way. Brian Casey, great guy, a lot of products. And we're going to let AJ open this one up. They got a lot of...
Is it Chillicothe?
No, it's
Coshocton.
Oh.
I don't know.
You be fragile now.
Anyway,
don't hurt yourself.
Backstretch Shine, Casey Racing LLC. You can find them on Facebook page. They got a lot of cool stuff, man. They do cart haulers, stackable go-kart, stackable stands, all kinds of cool stuff, man. Down at they can get you rims and get you Maxxis tires, Burris tires, you name it. They can get you hooked up with it. And inside the box, what do we got, AJ? Looks like some tire prep.
Yeah, well, so the first thing we've got is from Casey's Backstretch Shine is the Lemonade.
Lemonade.
And, where's here? I'm gonna let you hold that box real quick.
Okay.
And then I've had a little sinus problem lately, but I don't have one right now. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Where's the? Okay. All right. So the Lemonade, the Lemonade Tire Aid is recommended use for this product is to clean the tires after a night of racing. Lemonade also works well as a pre-prep cleaner. So.
And also,
there you go. That's the Lemonade.
They've got some Honeymoon in here, which is an aggressive prep. Allow prep to the track and the shop and drop the Duro on a little when you're applied. May soften the Duro when you run it. Some good stuff. This is the Honeymoon.
The Honeymoon.
Yeah. My Honeymoon was rather aggressive, too. I'm just going to go and say that.
So that's the Honeymoon right there. And then what coming up next, we've got the old Sweet Red, designed to help create bite in your tires while minimizing tire wear and abuse. This prep works exceptionally well at night when there is any hint of moisture in the air. Sweet Red is also a really good all-around prep to help create bite in many different circumstances. That's Casey's Backstretch Shine Sweet Red.
And this right here is definitely take care of anything that is congesting you. This is called Old Blue. It's the tire prep designed to be semi-aggressive. Recommended conditions for Old Blue be mid-dry sun or evening dry air, dusty tracks. When the wet track is changing to dry, make sure you get yourself some Old Blue here from Backstreet Shine. And I kept saying it, Backstretch.
It's not Backstreet. We ain't singing.
And
Nobody's singing.
Look at here, baby. We got some lube.
Oh, Lord.
So
That's Old Blue, by the way.
We have some spray lubricant, protects metals, stops squeaks. Did you know now that in a race, all of the runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain it. CaseyRacing.com, baby. I tell you what, man, this is awesome. You know, and we're going to need some tire prep stepping up into the whole red plate issue of deal. So big thanks, man, to our man, Casey Racing. Y'all check him out, Casey Racing LLC on the Facebook page or Google Backstretch Shine.
And by the way, right there it says, do not consume. So Rooster, don't try to taste it. I know it looks sweet and it looks good, but don't taste it.
And the good thing about it is he lets you know on the back what this is all about. Keep out of reach of children. So you hold this. But man, this is what it's all about right here, ladies and gentlemen, with the mail time. Send in your products, and we're not going to keep a hold of these products. We're going to get these products out and let folks use them, let folks try them, and that way we can come back and say, Casey, man, you're working. And huge thanks for you helping out the North Carolina Nightmare and the Nightmare Motorsports crew as we put Casey Racing in the winner's circle this weekend with the our new driver, the Boogeyman, 5-year-old kid kart machine. Big thanks to our Casey Backstretch Shine crew. But, man, anytime that you want to send something right here, 3392 Dunn Road, Fayetteville, North Carolina, and we'll get it up. We got a whole bunch. I'm talking about we got Amsoil, we got Beer Nuts, we still got some Jegs back there. We got MPH Productions. So all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, you might want to go ahead and get it in because we're having to put everything kind of on like a schedule like we got to open this one, start getting backed up. We might have to do 1 week where it's like Christmas, where everybody opens something.
Yeah.
So we can stay caught up. So make sure you get that in. As Brewster says, 3392 Dunn Road, Fayetteville, North Carolina, 28312, care of Shine Runners Racing Radio.
And we'll get it open just like we did the Casey's Bat Stretch Shine. Go and check him out, man. He's on Casey Racing LLC on Facebook, and a lot of great stuff. If you go to his page, let him know that you've seen it on Shine Runners Racing Radio. Give him a like. Tell him, hey, seen it on Shine Runners. I want to give you a like. That way they know that the products are working here from Mail Time, and shoot, they might send us another box. Can't complain with that, can you?
No, absolutely not. I'm sorry. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and take another quick commercial break, and when we come back, I think we're going to get into what happened at the Triple T. Late model lowdown, some sprint car.
We got
stuff.
some mud racing action, Bo. Hey,
That's
got
right.
another man under 4 seconds.
And speaking of mud racing, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to one of our sponsors, our table sponsors, Fast Tracks Mud Bog.
Yes, definitely.
As well as Temple Mechanical.
Yeah.
Called me today, and I sent him the picture, of the table and all that, and we've still got one table left.
We do, and we want to sell that.
Yep, absolutely.
We need your name on it. So, take us out, Jim. Look at those parts to put you in the winner's circle? Let Redline Speed Shop be your one stop for all performance needs. From straight strip to left turns, they have it all. Tires, fuel, and safety equipment, and that's just the beginning. Come by today, 404 Hope Mills Road, and get your win on with Redline Speed Shop. It's your job to put it in the winner's circle, but it's ours to make your ride stand out above the rest. With full-color wraps or die-cut designs, Bellinger Signs and Graphics is sure to put you in the eyes of the fans. That's not all. We do custom yard signs, storefront, and your everyday decal. Come see us today at Bellinger Signs and Graphics, 3392 Dunn Road, Eastover, North Carolina.
All right, driver blue number 14J, and you're watching Shine Runners Racing Radio.
Back at the Steel, ladies and gentlemen, and we are off our mail time, man. Huge thanks to you, Brian Casey, for hooking us up with that Casey Racing LLC Backstretch Shine. And looking forward to our next mail time as we get ready to go next week. We're going to throw it around now and find out what's going on in the different divisions of racing as we're going to take it down and let Hollywood turn loose on the late model lowdown.
Yeah, man. So there's a lot of stuff. I'm going to skim over it because it's hard to keep up with all of it. But
We'll be here all
I'm going to
night.
go with multiple winners in the Lucas Oil Series. So far, Kid Rocket with 2 wins, Davenport with 3, and Bichette with 2. Their next race is going to be March 16th at Atomic. World of Outlaws, the winners down in Volusia, you have McCready, McDowell, Bloomer, and Bichette picked up 1. The Smoky Mountain Speedway race for the 9th and 10th has been reset for April 27th and 28th. They'll be heading to Farmer City Raceway on March 23rd. And just want to go ahead and let everybody know that March 17th at Fayetteville Motor Speedway is going to be the St. Patty's Day Going Green car show and practice. So, y'all, I hope everybody's getting ready for that. I definitely have been slacking, and my car is not ready. My car doesn't even have decals on it.
It looked good.
Yeah, it looked good sitting still, and it's not wrecked. That's why it looks good.
Yeah.
Can't wreck it
But
no more.
March 23rd and 24th is going to be open tonight. They'll have late model, modified Super Street, Pure Stock, Sport Mod class, the Super Stock 4s, U-Car, Legends, and then obviously March 31st will be the Ed Gibbons Memorial. Y'all can check out them and find more information at FayettevilleMotorspeedway.com.
I just want to know when we're pulling the trailer back down to spend the night again.
Oh,
That's all I want to do.
You know, Dad actually called me. What was it yesterday? He was like, "Bo, I found us a toter."
Because I wanted to sing karaoke so bad that night.
I think he's upgraded now. He's like, well, look, man, I found this toter down at Camping World in Spartanburg. We can hook that to the trailer. We can pull the trailer and go racing, or when we don't want to, we just leave the trailer at home and go camping. I was like, hell yeah, sounds like a deal.
I tell you what, it looked good down there that night.
We had a good time that
It was a
night.
great time. Racing Ryan, what's going on in NASCAR news?
So the last 2 weeks have been won by Kevin Harvick. Not only won, but dominated in the Cup Series. But he did get a post-race penalty for having his rear window support I guess it.
So they did penalize him for that.
What he got was
Really?
But they penalized points.
You're kidding me, right?
They fined the crew chief $50,000. The car chief has been suspended.
Oh, that's it?
The car chief has been suspended for 2 Monster Energy races, and he lost 20 driver points and 20 owner points.
That is
yes,
man. That is
What are you talking about?
But
it's
he keeps
a
the
dent in the
win.
window. I mean, do you really honestly think that dent in the window had something to do with him winning?
Chase Elliott did.
Dude, there's so many key. Well, no, Chase Elliott was calling in to his pit crew because he thought. I mean, just like Dale Earnhardt Jr. said on his podcast, he said, we're always looking at cars and find where's this bar at? Are they handling different? Are they doing this? People are always looking at cars in front. Do you look at the car in front of you?
Trying to get everybody on the
Would
same
you call
page.
me and say, Rooster, the sway bar's out on that when he's handling like
He told me that he's not used to being behind anybody.
Yeah,
so
I
he
thought
doesn't
you-
look at it.
I thought AJ was
He don't
always
know what other
first.
cars look
Yeah,
like.
I am.
Exactly
And
right.
so, like, if I saw it happen, I was like, damn, that's a great idea. I'm not going to say nothing about that. And next week, I'm going to try to do that.
I mean, I'm going to put a little dent in my back window.
It's a little
and that's
different on
what,
national
what
TV.
is it? It's in the back window. It ain't like
But
flaps
it's the way the air, like,
Yeah,
if it's
flows
lower, it
back
flows
with the
down, gets on the
car.
spoiler.
That's bull.
Y'all,
That's bull.
Well,
Hey,
look,
hey.
we're gonna table that one for later on and have
Write
some
it down
callers
because
on
I've got some
Oh,
more
I've got
stuff
it.
to
Okay.
say.
We always got
That's
something
all
to say
got
about
something to
something.
say
I
about
mean,
that
I'm,
tonight.
Yeah.
I don't
I've
even know how you
got.
could be putting up, sticking up for this guy
I
in a
don't.
situation.
I'm not
For
even
sure.
really that big of a Harvick fan, but I mean, I can call BS when I call it.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay, all right,
You want me to keep going?
keep going, please.
Okay. So in the Xfinity Series, last 2 weeks, Larson won last week at Las Vegas, and then, if I'm correct, I'm supposed to know this. Anyway, Truck Series, Kyle Busch won after Brett Moffitt got held up by a lap car. That wasn't very good. The race was entertaining though. They were racing like they were at Daytona at a speedway. It was pretty nice. Let's see what else. Hendrick is actually really struggling too.
Yeah, they've been behind a lot.
Uh-oh.
Seems like.
You know what that means?
That must mean
We are now in overtime. We'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. We're not gonna stop the show just for that.
I don't know what to say now.
Lost my thought.
Right.
I mean,
Keep it going. We've been winning.
where they racing next weekend?
So next week they'll be at Phoenix, another good track for Harvick.
He is really good
God.
there.
Yeah.
He
Really good.
is.
Cup Series and Xfinity will be headed that way.
He's gonna have 2 dents in his
and
windows.
then the
Two
truck
dents.
truck Series don't pick up until Martinsville weekend.
Cool, man. So a lot of cool stuff going on. I've already noticed, and I'm gonna throw this out there about the whole Harvick deal. The keyboard warriors are out there, and man, have the whole computers burst into flames about he's got to cheat to win. It's a dent in the window. Anyway,
Those people need to call in about 20 minutes.
yeah,
Please do.
yeah. Let us when we open the phone lines. Let us know what you think about that whole situation when we open the phone lines. But at this point,
I think when they say, "Gentlemen, start your engines," that people are actually at their keyboard, ready to go,
Waiting.
talk some
to
smack.
stop.
yeah.
And by the way, Kyle Larson did win this past weekend.
Thank you.
At Las Vegas.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
What you got on sprints there, homeboy?
So look, sprint car news. I'm going to be talking about Lincoln Speedway out of Pennsylvania. Now, Chad Trout parked the 1X, Jiffy Lube K2 Customs sprint car in Victory Lane. He started second place, but he brought home a $4,000 payday in the Icebreaker 30. I actually had a chance to talk to him this afternoon too. So we're going to actually have him on the show in about 2 weeks to talk about everything racing with his. He's new into this 410 sprint cars. He's ran some other divisions too. He's ran Super Sportsman. He's run some other sprint cars, but he's ran 410s for the last 3 years. This was his first win in the 410s. But like I said, I did talk to him earlier. We're going to touch on this a little bit later in his interview. But the team owner had passed away, and this was a big win. Jim Walker was the team owner of that car, and his friend and Jim's friend Randy and Steph Oberlin got the team, and it was a big win for the team. So we're going to touch more on that when Ryan's over here laughing like he has his stuff together all the time. So anyway,
No, I wasn't laughing at you. I'm sorry.
I'm sure.
Was it my spelling?
No. No.
Or the handwriting?
We got a Where's the Fire?
Oh,
Off
yeah.
the siren.
Where's the
All
fire?
right. Right. But and just other news up there, Alan Crimes, he got the Hard Charger Award there. He didn't even finish.
Did you
his
say
heat
Crimes?
race. Crime.
Like CRIMES.
KRIMES.
Oh, he stole the show.
He didn't steal the show. He made the show.
Was
It
the
came
show.
from 20th to 8th.
Nice.
So the crew put a heck of a job together to put that car in there. But
Good job.
But you know, Lincoln Speedway, they're going to be racing again this weekend. It's cheap to get it, $15 in the stands. So anybody in Pennsylvania, heck, I don't know, I might ride up there. I got nothing to do this weekend.
Hey,
Anybody
let's go.
wanna ride?
Let's stop in
I'm
Philly.
taking this man with me. We're
Let's
going.
go.
We're going to go.
I got some
Jinx.
place to stay in West Grove.
All right, so we've got a place to stay apparently.
There you go.
Other news: World Outlaws. Donnie Schatz picked up the win at the dirt track at Las Vegas. He chased Sheldon Hassenschild for most of the race, but 5 laps to go. Passed him. And last thing, sprint cars that I really got right now is the Steel City Outlaw Tim Schaefer signed for a full-time ride with the World Outlaws this year. So
Nice.
You can look for the 49X to be in the mix this year as well. So that's what I got.
Diggy down, baby.
Yeah.
Shredding
Good
some
deal.
clay. Yes, sir. I'm going to tell you what, man. Wyatt is all about the sprint cars, and I don't know if you've seen the new sprint car chassis kind of deal they got going on down at Rockfish. They're putting Predator motors on them.
No, I heard something about it though.
But they're
junior sprint.
Yeah, they're trying to get the kids involved in racing, and it's just a regular Predator engine on it, and it has no wing, but it looks just like a sprint
Just
car.
like it.
Kind of bigger than a Champ cart, you know what I mean? But
It's not quite the same size tire in the rear.
yeah.
A little bit smaller tire, but people are hoping for good momentum around the track and get them flying and getting, like you said, that everybody's on the same page with the motor. People are getting big. I got a friend of mine that's doing that right now, building one for his kid, and he's all kinds of excited about it.
I love hearing it when the kids, man.
Great track,
A
too.
lot
Very
of folks,
family-oriented.
yes. A lot of folks don't know old Jinx over here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Jinx in the house. Jinx races U-Cars down at Fayetteville.
U-Car.
The Jersey Mike's
Jersey
sponsored
Mike's is our main
U-Car.
Do you get free subs?
Yeah, sometimes.
What?
We do. It all depends on if I'm bringing another sponsor to talk to him. Up
And
there.
he's actually working a deal where he wants to get some folks together to come down to Jersey Mike's, set your car up, talk about local racing,
do
talk
a meet
about
and
your
greet,
sponsors,
you know?
meet and greet the drivers, and you know, and that's cool, man.
It's just to make awareness for the tracks, because honestly, there's not enough awareness for the racing in our community. We need more people out there to know that there is even a racetrack. We all love racing, but we all love racing because what we grew up watching. We all had fans in the stands, and it was a huge family event everywhere you go. So we're trying to bring kids and just everyone in our local area to, hey, there's a racetrack. Come watch us.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
That's right.
What you got on drag racing, man?
We got a few things. Actually, Street Outlaws are going to be coming live to Galat Motorsports Park March 9th through the 10th. That's going to be a good event. Should definitely check that out. Fayetteville Motorsports Park going to be doing the Streetcar Invasion 2018. Going to be March 17th. They're going to be bringing a good couple classes. There's a stick shift class, daily driver, going to be $500 to win. They've got a what is that, 12 flat daily driver index. It's also going to be a $500 to win. I believe that's a free entry in that class.
Free entry with $500 to win.
Yeah, free entry. So definitely go out there for that. They've even got a foot brake class. I believe that one. No, that's just the free entry was the 12.0 class.
Yeah.
They'll have a car show out there as well, and even a bass and sound competition, which is something that a lot of people don't even remember. That's all stuff we used to grow up doing. Everybody
90s,
had
baby.
systems.
90s.
I'm telling you.
I can remember riding to school.
We
Band
had
pass
six,
boxes.
we
When's the
had
last time you
6
seen
by
one of
9s in
those?
the Beretta.
Oh, yeah.
Huh. Ripping some drag.
My neighbor, I'll never forget, my neighbor Corey, I was never into like the whole bass thing, but I remember he had a Geo Metro.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this like
Is that the
tiny,
guy with the wall with the 12 in the back window?
I don't know. Every time we rode, like by the time when I got out of school or out of the car at school, like everything I looked at, the numbers were just shaking on the board. You know, that was back when they had like chalkboards.
For sure. And also, we're going to have some good stuff going down in Gainesville, Florida at Gainesville Raceway. Prelude to the Gators, March 9th through the 10th. And also the Gator Nationals, March 15th through the 18th. Sorry, but all RV spots are sold out.
Man, and got to send a big hello to TT and Robbie as they're on the way down there right now. You know, TT couldn't be with us tonight.
Red
'cause they're
Robbie.
but TT is working
Yeah.
the Facebook Live here tonight. So
She is.
thank you, TT, and good luck to you guys. And
Doing a good
like
job
you
from a
said,
distance.
man, just keep an eye on that red light.
Yeah, me and Jim were sitting here the other day. We were actually making up nicknames for Robbie, and I came up with Rockin' Red Robbie.
Red Rocky.
Please don't kill me. I can't say
Oh,
much
man.
because I really got to be nice because Robbie is building my motor this year. So I was just kidding, Robbie. It was a joke. Really,
And
honestly, it was.
I have to say, Deborah Brewer Brown said, I thought that was old Jinx in the house over there.
That's it.
And big
Thank you
shout
very
out
much for
to the Brown family. Man, as we get into karting here tonight, Thomas, man, thank you, bro. Thomas was there with us Saturday. I'm talking about from start to finish. Lewis ended up on the flag stand. I mean, it was like a Hall full-out deal. But you really helped me out, Thomas, man. I can't thank you enough
Family of racing.
for all you did, buddy. But talking about karting, man, getting into the karting world, last Friday night, we went down to Hooters of Fayetteville and did the unveiling of the Bellinger Signs and Graphics
That thing really did look sharp, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Hooters of Fayetteville, 1-800 Plumbing, MLS Plumbing, Quality Towing. I mean, Cape Fear Land Management, 1-800 Plumbing. Man, the whole crew, the unveiling. And Hooters really made my little young man feel like a superstar, bro. They put that go-kart on the table, and they talked about it, and then they unveiled it right there in the store. It's cool, you know what I'm saying, to be a part of that growing up. And, you know, I just want to send a shout-out. Rick Razalard, David Laura, Bladen Clint, Grayson Dyerson, and all the folks who come out last Friday night, brought your race cars, brought your go-karts, brought your junior dragsters. And, man, we really got the word out last week. There's so many folks that come through Fayetteville, North Carolina, a lot of military. They love racing, but they've never been to a racetrack nor know that there's one around here. And we actually got a family that was there eating. They came, and some folks saw it on Facebook. They weren't able to make it to Hooters, but they actually come out to the race Saturday, and an awesome race that was down there for the Triple T Raceway, first running of the GOAT. Packed house, over 200 go-karts in attendance. And I'm talking about chili bowl, rumble type of attendance, dude. It was slamming down there.
Right.
You know, and I have to really take my hat off to the staff and everybody that was running. You know, as sometimes whenever you got a big event going, something can backlash, and it just backlashes.
It gets worse and worse and trickles down.
They had a computer issue. They were running a whole new transponder deal, and you know, some stuff ran a little bit late. But as a track promoter, I don't know if anybody's seen it on the panel, but Terry Odom went in front of everybody and shot a video apologizing about the actions that happened at the track that night. I've seen a lot of track promoters, not talking about anybody in particular, but I've seen a lot of track promoters sweep stuff under the rug or say, I'm never doing this again. But he stood in front, and that earns respect. That tells you how much he loves his racetrack and the people that come out and support him. And I commend you for that, my friend.
Yeah, and I want to give him kudos, too, because it does take a lot when to step out and put something on social media and admit to you know, the shortcomings of what you had that night. And there's not really any way that you can kind of test that kind of software until you have a race, you know. So I completely agree.
But big things going on down there, man, as they'll be returning March 17th for the Carolina Animal Modified Series, and the return of the Flatheads are going to be coming out. It's a stock flathead race. I think it's 375 or 350 on the weight. But you know, me and you both, Bo, we love them flatheads.
Oh, yeah,
you can have. I'm telling you guys can have those clones. They ain't nothing sounds nor smells like a flathead. Even the stock classes.
Yeah.
Even the stock classes. But want to give a big shout out to Braden Boogeyman Johnson, the first ride in the kid cart and picked up the win down there last weekend. Red plate, Jaden Cordell. That boy is on a roll, son. Junior 1, Racing Hayes. Pro Junior 1, Tristan McKee. Junior 2 and Pro Junior 2, Chase Williamson. Junior 3 and Pro Junior 3, Amateur Connor Leffler. Predator, Brad Beverly. Animal, Tommy Buter. Pro Animal, Austin Baker. Senior Stock, Andy Osborne. We hear that name a lot. Super Heavy, Randy Garner. Pro Super Heavy, Matt Turnville. Clone Light and Medium, the Fireball himself, Cole Johnson. But I have to say, my boy was on his tail, son. Tyler Seeley had him on the back door. You better watch out for that kid, too, in the upcomings. Clone Heavy, Andy Osborne again. Pro Heavy, Dawson Bryan. And the Who's Your Mama series. Man, they have put it together. The Who's Your Mama, we had buggies. We actually went down to Dollar General, got some buggies. And we had some parts down at the end. of the track. The mamas had to run down there, get the parts that was on the list, and run back. And I'm telling you, they were in it to win it. But
I saw a little door banging going on.
It was.
Some cart banging there.
Got to send a shout out to Stephanie Pitts. She picked off the win and got herself 10 points. Cheryl McCoy.
Gosh, man, I haven't heard that name in a while.
And third, Brooke Wynn picking it up. She's in third currently. And man, they are actually running for a custom golf cart in this Who's Your Mama series.
No
the winner's
doubt.
a custom golf cart. Second place is $400, and third place is $200. So it's the moms got their own point series.
It's a good way to bring the whole
Need
family
to get
in.
Panda out there.
It is. Well, it's getting the moms
Absolutely.
involved
Yep.
in racing.
That's it.
Mama, let's do
And
this.
there's so many moms, man, that go to these racetracks and they sit there all day. You know what I mean?
They're the ones that are, like you said earlier, our backbone that help us even allow
Yeah.
us to go racing and do what we're doing.
I tell you what, I ate a lot of tomato sandwiches at the go-kart track, bro. Some mamas have made, and there's
Yeah. The second, brownies. The second running Tri-State Pro Series coming up at Warrior Creek Court, South Carolina. St. Patrick Shootout, over $70,000 in purse, including pro stock guaranteed, $3,000 this coming up weekend. That's down at Warrior Creek.
what was that?
Warrior Creek. Like I said, March 17th, coming back with the Triple T cams. The flatheads will be making their return, and that's $375 on that weight. I want to send a huge shout out to. We speak about camaraderie a lot. And we were at the racetrack. Some things happened to us Saturday. We weren't able to get out for our first practice. And if you don't run your first practice, you can't run your second practice. So as a kart owner and a dad, I decided to keep my son off the track because he had never been in that go-kart before. And before he goes out there and hurts himself or hurts somebody else or tears it all to pieces, I just decided to put it back in the trailer and we'd go out for a little bit of practice. And, man, I'm thanking the good Lord we did. Had a little issues with the steering. So as White was out there on the track, Joseph Legg and Mr. Ted come up, and he said, Rooster, we want to take White and put him in Anthony's go-kart. Now, this is the kid that we race with each other. He said, I want to put Wyatt in Anthony's go-kart and see how he does. That's the camaraderie of racing. And Mr. Ted made the comment. He said, Rooster, I just want you to know, he said, it's all about getting these boys out there and getting them used to it. And that's awesome, though, to have that happen, man.
Without them kids, though, we don't have racing.
And I have to give my utmost respect and a huge thanks out to the Legg Motorsports crew. Thank you guys for doing that. Thank you, Tyler Seeley, for going out there with Wyatt and running him around. And I seen him out there with Heath Dyerson, or not Heath, but Grayson, and teaching him how to pass and stuff like that. And it really means a lot, man, in the whole aspects of racing. Do want to send out some shout from Mud Racing. Lee County Mud Motorsports Complex ran the show and go this past weekend, and John Stevens became the 12th person to ever cover a 250-foot pit in less than 4 seconds. 3.978 was what he covered the pit in, man, and talking about riding, he was doing that.
He was on top of it. He wasn't in it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was like this, Bo, the whole time.
The whole way.
I mean, make me a bird so I can fly far away. That's exactly. God listened to Jenny 1 when he dumped the clutch on that jewel, baby. But anyway, coming up, a lot of cool stuff. April 7th is going to be the next run down the Clash of the Carolinas with over $100,000 in payout through 9 races of the Clash of the Carolinas in mud racing. March 17th is a huge date in mud racing. It's our sponsor, Fast Track season opener with the Military Appreciation Race, and that is also the home of the Carolina Clash Tour that'll be coming through. In Bennettsville, South Carolina, March 31st, put this down as the open bog event. Come on out, bog, side-by-sides, four-wheelers. They got the big slide, redneck slide, and I'm spitting all over the place.
Glad it's your mic.
Yeah.
You get so excited.
I am, dude. I'm telling you.
That's that mud racing for you.
And March 17th, East Coast Rumble going down to Pine Hall, North Carolina. That's flat track mud racing with 200-foot single-lane MRA rules. They got the open paddles, the mod cuts, the pro stock, and local door slammer racing going on. So check out your local mud racing scene, man. A lot of people don't know about it, but it is some serious action. Really is going down there. Just wanted to shout this out. I know I'm kind of being long-winded, but in the unlimited class, Denny Curley threw down a 3.903 in a 250-foot regulated pit in the root snoot. Come back with the regular snoot at a root snoot. Old Pig, man, them boys cook barbecue. 3,942 in the Snoot in third place. Third place. Are you listening to this? Third place was 3.978. That's third place, dude. That's like there's no room for slipping.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? It's throttle to the whatever.
Skipping that motor, you lost.
Danny Ray Messer in the open suspension DOT picked up the win. Lee Spring Renegade, Jeremy Smith. Super Mod Street, Randy Batten. Class 2, Michael Hare. 4 and 6 went to Jonathan Johnson. Caw-caw, caw-caw. He'll know what you mean. But anyway, that's my little bit there on your mud racing and go-kart spiel. So I'll go out and check out these tracks, man. That's something. Over 70,000 in purse running at the Warrior Creek and Gray Court, South Carolina.
It's worth going out and taking a look at.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people think when you say go-karts, they think Myrtle Beach. This is something totally different.
Yeah, completely.
Huh? Yeah, we got a mud truck for sale if anybody wants to get in that 4 and 6 cylinder division. We'll make you a deal on that thing. I can guarantee you. You will. Your wife will be very excited when you go home at the price you could get this thing for.
Shoot, you could even raffle it off.
Yeah,
Might
good
even
stuff,
hold you
man.
a big raffle all year
I'll
long.
even autograph it.
There you
know
go.
what I mean?
Uh-oh.
Not sure that'll mean anything. So
that brings us now to the time where you can call in and give us your opinion on whatever it might be, whether it's the bubble situation on Kevin Harvick's car, or I think Mama Swan was talking something about a pit crew member touching a tire with a toe.
Whatever.
No, it's kick the airline.
Kick the airline.
Kick the airline.
You ain't supposed to touch nothing.
The gas guy's only supposed to do gas.
Yeah, you can't
not
touch
move an
nothing
airline
else.
or touch a tire.
He won the race.
Simon says
It's crazy.
Get the tire.
Yeah.
We've also, there's been some stuff going on about
Tripping
Facebook
hazard.
Live.
Don't kick it.
From racetrack. So if you want to go ahead and give us a call now, give us your opinion or a suggestion, a complaint, something we could do better. Please feel free to give us a call.
I think we're going to get a phone call from our good friend Matty Watkins from Matty Watkins Designs.
Gosh.
He took his first laps. Maybe it was just lap. I'm not sure.
Was he wearing his cardigan?
He was wearing a cardigan when this thing went down.
No, it's a pullover.
Man, was that a trip to Charlotte?
Oh my gosh!
Wow, that was so much fun. I actually had a chance to catch up with Matt, number 93.
Carr?
Oh no, yeah, Matt Carr.
And we actually had a chance to talk about that weekend, and the conversation was very short. It was very short.
A few seconds.
But I tell you what, man, I live to go back to that weekend. Can't wait.
Let's see who we got right here.
Don't answer that.
You're on with Shine Runners Racing Radio. Who we got?
Hey guys, it's Mama Swan.
What
Hey,
you
Mama
doing?
Swan.
I can't let y'all talk about me without me being in on the conversation.
Oh Lord.
Well, the good thing about it is we're not playing any games tonight. So what's going down?
I don't need to win anything. I just need to win the fight.
I hear you. Bring it on. Bring it on.
So here's what happened. During the race, they penalized Kyle Busch because his tire man touched the tire with his hands. He can't do that. He can touch it. He can touch it with his foot, but he can't touch it with his hands. Okay? Penalized him. Okay? Then not even 20 laps later, probably, right at the end of the race, Kyle Larson, who is Racing Ryan's man, he's got a shirt hanging here in my living room with his racing, I don't know, he's hanging it just to spite me probably tonight, but anyway.
That's right.
He's a huge Larson fan, so I'm sure he's blowed up like a bullfrog over there right now, but anyway. So Larson's crew come in for a pit stop. The gas man did his job. The tire guys did their job. Saw the gas man kick a little bit with the air hose, to kind of get it out of his way. But then he finished pumping the fuel, and he moved the air hose away from the car, completely away. He helped the air hose move away from the car. The rules stated that you cannot do anything outside in the pit except for gassing the car and controlling the tire with your foot. So, Ryan has video on his phone because I sent it to him if y'all would like to
Here we got proof.
check that out.
Look, the gas man's
So-
not a robot. It's a tripping hazard if there's a hose going across.
I mean, it's natural. So, I mean,
So what do you
No,
think?
no.
She's lucky my mic was off.
So I was about to hand you another one.
He's over here
I love
talking
you,
with he's got
Ryan.
his mic off.
I mean, I love you too, but
Look, he double fisting over here.
take that. Take that.
Okay, I'm gonna hang up so somebody else can call in. I love you
appreciate
guys.
you.
All right, Mama Swan, we love you.
All right. Bye.
I'm really trying with NASCAR, and I'm clearly know nothing or even enough about it. And I went into this year saying I was going to give it a chance, but I swear, like NASCAR is like Simon Says, hokey pokey. I'm having a tough time. I'm going to hang in there, but I got to find out more about it.
It's like they're making them robots.
So what this is? The tire man cannot touch the tire.
He's only allowed to.
So the gas man
the
cannot
gas.
touch the tire
Not the
unless it
tire
with
man.
his foot.
How did they know I had gas?
The thing is that so they went to this 5-man pit crew deal.
Yep.
The gas man apparently is not allowed to do
Anything but gas.
anything but gas the car.
Or kick a tire.
Yeah, or I guess he can kick a
He
tire.
can kick a tire.
So let's see who this is.
Hello, you're on with Shine Runners Racing Radio. Who we got?
Hey, tell the boys Maddie's giving them a call.
T Matt, what's up, guy?
Right here.
What's up?
Well, everything's
Hey,
shit.
long time watcher, first time caller.
That was my my NASCAR Sirius XM thing.
I have to see if I can locate that. I'm gonna see if I can locate that picture to put up of that experience you had. Tell that story.
Yeah, we need the Clint Smith one first, so if you have it. But anyway, this started probably about 25, 30 days ago. So about a month ago, I wrapped this guy's girlfriend's car, and he said, I'm gonna need you to do mine. And I went, well, that's cool. And it just ended up playfully talking where he goes, well, what are you going to do on Saturday nights? You going to come out to the track and look at your car, or are you just going to, do whatever? I said, no, I'm going to come out. I haven't seen any of my work on a track before, so this will be cool. He goes, so you're just going to come watch? And I went, well, yeah, I live in downtown Atlanta. I can't store a race car. He goes, well, take one of mine. And for 30 days, before I got behind the wheel of that car, I went through every scenario in my head. More nervous
except
than
for
I
the
could
one
be.
that happened.
We'll get to it. Drove out there, loaded up the car, learned the whole transmission. I had no idea Burt transmissions operated in the function that they do, and it's kind of amazing we have that kind of technology in something so simple as a race car. But yeah, so we loaded up. I walk into the holler to finally put a driver's seat on, and it's that picture. It's Clint Smith's suit from like 2004. It says GRT across the front of it. I've got Clint Smith's name right across my belt right there. And I get in the car, and I get up to stage, and I go out for my first session. It's 5 sessions. And I remember getting in the car and thinking the whole time, like, man, I'll finally be able to look over at people in the stand, look over to my right. I don't remember looking at the flagman. I don't remember looking at a gauge. I don't remember looking at anything. So I finished the first 5 laps, and I come in. And then I get ready for my second one, and I actually strapped. That's the suit. Yeah, I'm totally late on you guys. I'm watching you on mute. But I get in. I actually put everything on myself. Was about to start the car, and I start to push the ignition. I'm like, hey, Richard, the guy that owns the car. I'm like, hey, I got this thing turned on. It just won't fire. Just sits there, and it's just going over and over. Well, apparently when I pulled it in, I never shut the ignition switch off. So the whole time the ignition switch was in off. When I'm trying to push this thing for 5 minutes, we couldn't figure out why. The switch was off, not on. So that's how that night kind of went. And then I get in the car. I got myself ready and everything. And it's a 5-lap session, and I get on lap 4, and I'm coming off of 4, and I finally am getting comfortable. I feel the gas hit the back plate. I'm full. I'm full off of 4. I've got the right front shut off on. As I'm coming off of 4, the entire steering comes off the steering column. The whole wheel comes off. I've got my right hand on the wheel, both feet on the brake, and guess what happens when you have a left front shut off and you're hauling the mail and you smash the brake? So basically, I owe this guy a race
I think
car.
I can tell you it's probably this that's on the screen right now.
I can't even tell you what's on. All I see is
about 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, there we go. All
You are
right.
a hell of a body man.
So as I'm coming off of 4, I've got the wheel in my hand, and there's only 2 words you can say, and it rhymes with it, and it's preceded by O. I don't. You know what's funny is the whole time we were going up to this thing, I said, but what if I wreck? He goes, as long as you don't wreck another race car and you're walking, just put it in the wall if you feel out of control. Well, you can't control a car with a steering wheel. So after hitting the wall, it's incredible. AJ, you've been in a ton of wrecks, I'm sure, so you'll be able to.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but usually when mine happen, I'm at the front.
Right. Well, everybody was practicing, so everybody's at the front.
Right. Oh, I don't reckon practice.
Thank God it was just a practice night. So we end up, I hit that wall. I never felt a thing. It's incredible. I went through every scenario in my head, and not once did I wake up in the middle of the night and go, what if the steering wheel comes off? I checked it. I'm not joking. That was the first thing I checked. When I got in the car, I pulled it 3 times, got over to the staging line, pulled up on the track, pulled the belt, and then pulled the wheel one more time. How the hell that thing came off, I have no idea. But needless to say, they're going to get some really nice shirts, future wraps, all the decal work they need, everything else. So, but
for fixing the car.
Did you have the same feeling you did when we did the impromptu "Do You Know Me" deal in the bar there in Charlotte that weekend?
You know, Jim tried to pull that thing on me today. I woke up this morning bored. I got some work done, and I went and did the Ubers. And got behind the wheel, and Jim called me and said, hey, I have to call you back. I'm driving. He goes, oh, just tell him I'm an actor. Which actor did you say?
I said Brad Pitt.
You don't look anything like Brad Pitt.
I'm on the phone. I don't have to look like anybody.
So, you guys in that game, how often do you guys play that game?
Not very often.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys stink at it. It's terrible.
We didn't get a chance to do anything.
We got to tell everybody that day at World Finals, when we woke up that morning, we got to tell that story real quick.
So when we went and got breakfast?
Yeah, we went and got breakfast. We laughed so hard the whole time. It took us forever to eat. Then we get back, and my battery, what was it? You had a flat tire, Rooster.
Yeah.
Just so happened.
He had a.
Go ahead.
What happened to you? What was wrong with your trailer?
No, I had. Rooster had a flat tire, and then we were out of gas in the generator, I think.
Your truck wouldn't start, right? Or was that
my truck would start. My battery was dead. Then we're like, okay, well, we got the compressor. We can get Rooster. We actually had a plug, or somebody found a plug. We plugged Rooster's tire. We're like, well, damn, now we don't have a chuck to pump it up. Just so happens,
God, I remember this.
After about 45 minutes, Rooster just happens to find an air chuck.
Well, it's Maddie's fault that my tire went flat because he wanted to go trash digging.
That's right.
So we're trash digging in the
for
pits.
My very efficient apartment that did use wood, sir. Thank you.
Did you get? Well, hey, don't worry because I've got the Sprint tire hanging on my wall, so it's all good.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
What's the story? Look, what's the story about the cop getting?
Oh, well, yeah, so we'll get to that. But make sure I circle back and we talk about the time. I had you, AJ, Swan, and, oh, God, why can't I think of his name? And my little Elantra. We had all of you guys in that tiny
Michael,
little car.
Doo-Doo Brown.
Yeah.
Doo-Doo.
That's a hell of a nickname.
That car gets 34 miles to the gallon. It might have got 6 that day. It was struggling.
We had to pick up.
After the...
Go ahead.
You guys were talking earlier about, the racing community stuff. I've never stepped foot on a track. I've never stepped foot in a race car. That was my first time in a race car. I've not done any iRacing.
And they put you in a
iRacing
big boy
is
car?
my extent of racing.
Well, Jim told me, it was like, yeah, Maddie's going to drive a late model this weekend. I was like, huh?
Well,
and I was like, have you ever drove?
experience.
And they're like, no. I was like, oh, nice.
I was supposed to drive it for the rest of the season, but as you can see, we're going to have we're a little behind right now. I'm not joking. We haven't looked. We just took the nose off. We don't know, but I may have totaled it. That's how hard I hit. I hit it dead on.
God. No, you just put a clip on that thing. You'll be good.
We might have bent the entire frame. But anyway, after the race, you ever tried loading up a late model that has no working front end onto an open trailer?
It's almost like being a pit crew with Randy White. We had to load a Mod Light with absolutely no steering capabilities at all in an enclosed trailer that was like 12 foot.
Is that
yeah?
It's an artwork what some of those tow truck guys can do. It's insane.
Yeah.
So we load up. Everybody stays. You know, we hang out, and then we fart. We start we start making our way to back to the shop and drop all the cars off. I'm in his truck, his trailer, his car. Everything's in there, and cop lights come on. I'm like, please don't pull me over. I got pulled over. This guy left me out to dry. I had no license plate. I had no lights, no reflectors, nothing on this truck whatsoever. Somehow he managed to because as far as this guy knows, the truck is stolen. I could have been arrested. I could have had to go down to the Coweta County Jail. But it is insane. Like, it's that nice. The wheel might not have been the worst part, but it ended up being. So, but that's how it went. But are we doing Charlotte again, boys?
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We got to do some more Dumb and Dumber quotes.
Yeah, no doubt. Y'all make sure y'all go check Maddie Watkins out. It's on Facebook. What is it, Maddie? MWD Designs.
Yeah, so I had to change it because I don't know. I'm not a big shot, so I don't know why I thought my own name would be a good idea. So it's still under Maddie Watkins Designs. You can still find it on all the social media, but MWDSGX. So Maddie Watkins Designs, signs and graphics, anything under those social media platforms. I'm actually working right now doing a T-shirt while I'm talking to you boys. So there we go. Check it out. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks, man, for calling in. We look forward to doing that again for sure.
Yeah. Keep up the good work. You guys have an awesome show, and we'll talk soon, all right?
All right, man.
Take it easy, man.
All right, bud.
All right, boys. Be good.
Later.
What a character. Dude.
Yeah, he really is.
I'm telling me and him hit it off.
This sounds like a lot of fun.
He is.
He's such a cool guy.
If you don't have fun with Maddie, that's your own fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a bad mood before you got there.
That trip to Charlotte, I remember a lot of things about it, but I remember picking up a very upset Michael Brown at the food court.
Yeah. we're not even going to go into that situation.
We'll save that for the 21st.
That's right.
As we'll be coming back on March the 21st, talk a little bit more Shine Runners Racing Radio, man. I'm super excited about March 21st. Is we got some cool lineups. We're not letting it out right now, but we got some cool folks that are actually going to be coming on that. So you want to stay tuned in to that stuff and, check us out, man. We got our T-shirts, hats, koozies, all that stuff. We got our merch for sale. So go ahead and get that and be ready to go at the races this year. You never know what could happen if we see you wearing a Shine Runners T-shirt. You might get something for free.
You never know.
Yeah, never know.
Never know.
Well, I guess if there's anybody else that's going to call in, go ahead and give us a call, 910-321-8299. And while we've got a little bit of time left, I do want to talk about the Facebook Live debate that's been going on. I want to get everybody's opinion first. What's yours?
Well, as far as, really depending the whole deal on Facebook Live, if you're out at an event or something, you know what I'm saying, like to promote a race that's happening, I feel that it's promoting racing. However, like if you're taking a Facebook Live of the actual race, I feel there's a difference there. Being a business owner myself, that if you're actually taking footage of the actual race itself, then that could have been a seat. Somebody might get used to the point of saying, hey, well, they're going to go Facebook Live anyway. I'm not even going to the racetrack. But if you're there and you're promoting before the race starts, I think that could be a positive. But it's like this. If you have Facebook and you're live, you can go live. I mean, that's just a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Is it like a kind of like a freedom of speech thing, or do you? I think
what
you're basically saying is if it's commercially, like if you're a business owner, like say for instance, Shine Runners Racing Radio is there, and we don't ever like Facebook Live a race, but leading up to the race and all that, we try to promote it, get people out there. Then it should be okay. But if someone's sitting in the stands, there's no law against it, but it should just be kind of be respectful.
I mean, televised events, it makes a big difference. I mean, people are paying to be televised. People are paying to be on that television station. I mean, it's so many people are promoting through that. That's why they cut you down when you're in a big race. They don't want you to have a televised event on Facebook because that's free to everybody. Like you said, it could take away people out of the stands. People want to go watch a race anymore if everybody can sit at home. It's our job to bring people to the stands, and by allowing Facebook Live to go, during a televised event, could hurt, but it also could help. I mean,
it can help and hurt.
Yeah, it's
because I was, and I'll say personally, I lived in Florida for a few years. I missed my racing back here, dude, because I mean we had good racing down in Florida, but I've honestly seen more compression in a Segway than I seen in the late models down in that area. I mean, I missed the racing back here at home. So thanks to, you know, there was 4 or 5 folks that I talked to that would go live, and it would allow me in Florida to watch the race that was going on back at home.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the cool aspect of it.
But overall, as a whole, it's not good for the tracks. Like what you're just saying there is like it affects the bottom line. I mean, I've talked to a few different promoters about it, but I'm probably going to go off track here a little bit with this, but it's just like how the internet has taken away from sales of certain types of businesses, and I mean, you're taking a sale away.
Well, they price match.
What?
They price match.
Price match.
No, you go to Best Buy, they'll price match.
You're not going to go film a concert anywhere. I mean, I haven't been to a concert recently, but I mean, you're not going to film a concert. I mean, you're paying to get in there. This is how somebody's making their money, and you're taking money away from somebody. I think that if you're helping to promote the event, you shouldn't be able to film an event and show that event. Well, that's my opinion.
Then that goes into the other thing. Well, let's get Racing Ryan's opinion on the deal.
I agree with some of y'all's points, but I'm gonna go on a limb and say if you don't pay the phone bill or you have nothing to do with the phone and the person that's filming the thing paid for the event to get in and do whatever he wants, just leave it like that. If I'm paying the money, why would you have any restrictions on what I do with this if you have nothing to do with it? So
essentially what it would come down to is that you can go onto someone else's property and film or show their event on TV, because that's like somebody walking into the sign shop and being like, hey, I'm in here, so I'm just gonna use your stuff to make a little bit of money, and then
well, I don't think they're making
money, but I'm gonna use your stuff.
But you never know. Their promotional doing Facebook might bring them money. That's the whole.
Here's the way I look at it. Nope.
You build hype for an event. You don't show an event.
Until you get to the point where we've got like somebody out there with a full camera rig, and granted, cell phone cameras are getting really good, and that's amazing. Yeah. But it's not about the camera. It's about the person working the camera. It's just like the thing. A gun's not going to shoot somebody unless the person pulls the trigger, right? So half the time, they're watching the race. The camera's all jittery. I go to the race because I'm going to go. Exactly. If there's a race I want to go to, I'm going to go and watch it. I'm not going to sit there and hope and pray to God that whoever's Facebook Live in that race is going to keep it on this. It might be somebody that's like, just say, for instance, you were there trying to Facebook Live Wyatt, so that maybe, you know, Miss Betty and Mr. Burt weren't there, just couldn't see it in Florida.
Miss McCall just made the comment.
Yeah.
You know.
So, I mean, we're not doing a world-class production here. I can understand the promoters not wanting, but look, if they ain't there by then, they ain't going to come then. You know, if they're not there by the time the main event comes, they're not. But I also go back to a point of what you said last year is it may help. If say it's we get done racing, say we're at Rockfish, and we get done racing, we see a Facebook Live post. Dude, they're only on pure stocks at Fayetteville. They haven't even run Super Streets, open wheels, or late models. Look, let's go ahead. We can make it there still. You know, me personally,
it's a catch-22 in the long run.
It's a catch-22, but
you have pros and cons to both of them, and that's the problem. I mean,
well, in the very end of this whole thing, it affects the bottom line to the racetrack somehow, some way. And the same people.
I don't think that necessarily.
I mean, if 3 people don't go to the racetrack because they're watching on, I mean, it does affect the bottom line. Put that over the amount of races in a season. If those people, it affects the bottom line. So these are guys are out there racing every week. If they can't give more money to the racers.
I bet
they want to pay so
far
back.
If you did a statistical thing, the people watching the live events are probably people that are far enough away that they weren't going to drive there anyways. Because like, there's a lot of them that I watch from like Bulls Gap, you know, that's in, you know, hours and hours away, you know, or down in Volusia or whatever. I'm not going to load my family up and take it. And you're not getting a production quality live video from that race and from that phone. Because if a wreck happens, I promise you they probably ain't going to get it on there, because as soon as it happens, that phone's going to droop down a little bit. And they're going to be like,
look
oh, at the race. Bloop. And you're going to be like, pick the camera up, pick the camera up, pick the camera up. You're like, and then they put it up and the cars are wrecked. You're like, really? Damn. Well, guess what? You should have paid $25 and went to the race yourself.
Across the board, if it's a race out of state, it still can't be done because there's people that are in state
Yeah.
that could potentially be going to that track. So if you're saying, if anybody's saying that we need to promote local racing and we need to help these guys out, if it's not something that in the end helps them out,
But
then what's being done?
I can combat that with the fact that
You can
sometimes
combat anything. I'm right, you're wrong. Done.
Well, I always
done. You want me to
always
autograph
think
something
so.
for you?
But here's the thing: is that when you're watching videos, it suggests other videos. So say I'm sitting at home on a Saturday night and I'm scrolling through Facebook.
The promotional part
and
is there
then
big time.
I'm like, oh shit, there's a race going, or excuse my language, but oh crap, there's a race going on. Man, I can still go and see it. You know, I mean, it is
more
promoting
exposure.
racing.
Yeah, but if it's an already televised event,
how many
it
people do
shouldn't
we
be
have
allowed. And I think
that
that's what
are
the biggest
military
thing.
people that are a melting pot, as you were alluding to earlier in the show, that don't know that Fayetteville has a racetrack? And now they do because someone went Facebook
Hey,
Live.
I got an idea. Why don't we go out before the race and talk to some of the drivers, show some people in the stands,
There you go.
show some practicing, and say, "Come on out and watch."
I think
the
that's
race."
a great idea.
And then it stops right there.
I think
Great
that's-
idea. He said it. Great idea.
I
Thank
did.
you.
I did. And I also think that there's racetrack promoters out there that should invite people to come out there and do that. You know what I mean? Let's work together, not against each other.
Doesn't County Line do a
As
Facebook
Shine Runners
Live?
Racing Radio,
Don't
we're not
they
going to
have
go
their own
live on your
feed?
race, but also at the same time, if you invite us out, bring us in, we'll help promote it as much as we can. That's our job, correct?
Right.
You know? But if nobody invites us or nobody talks to us, then
I don't think we're
There you
talking
go.
about us in general. We're talking about
well, yeah,
the
no,
general
well,
population of
as a
racers.
general,
Exactly.
but there's more people like the 24/7. Have him come out. I'm just trying to open everybody. I'm trying to see it from a different perspective of how to promote racing.
It's
You
a
know?
business. In the very end,
Absolutely.
we don't want.
I still love you though.
I still love you too.
Yeah, but if
All right, guys. Well, I guess if no one's going to call in, we'll go ahead and sign off. Go ahead, Bruce. Anything else you got?
Man, big. Just want to say that Stedman Volunteer Fire Department's got the barbecue and fried chicken dinner coming up, and the bake sale. That's at Station 23, 7595 Clinton Road. $5 ticket for a pig cooker as well, and that's coming up this weekend, March the 17th. The Swamp Boys Spring Fling Catfish Tournament is going to be kicking off down there at Riverside, if I ain't mistaken. If early registration Friday morning on that one. So if anybody's looking into catfishing or wants some barbecue, I am hungry myself.
All right, we need to go eat. now.
Check that out, man. And for the crew here tonight, big thanks, old Jinx coming in with us,
Thanks
man.
for
We
having me.
appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Anytime.
man. It was a pleasure
Anytime at
having you.
Hey, he was a good guest host. We don't usually have those.
Yeah,
Did a
yeah,
good job.
and want to definitely send out prayers for Shandy. Shandy's going into surgery tomorrow, so definitely prayers for her, and definitely keep your thoughts out for TT and all those folks out headed to Gainesville, Florida. Yeah, Bucks family and everybody, man. And a huge thanks to our folks who really help us out to make it possible. Bellinger Signs and Graphics, A1 Portable Toilets, A1 Landscaping and Lot Clearing, Raging Rooster Catering, Temple Mechanical, Fast Tracks, Mud Bog, C&M Pressure Washing, and all the folks who really have come in, man.
Yep.
Raging Rooster, everybody who's done what they can do to help us keep going, doing what we do. For Hollywood, Racing Ryan, Magic Man, and Jinx himself, we're up out of this piece.
Later.
I'm right there wrong.